In our last video, we finally left the state of Florida after hanging around for a few months and headed up to Rhode Island for the summer. But not before we took a little trip up to Atlanta, celebrated a wedding, saw some dragons, had an anniversary party, Lori went to our nephew's graduation, and then headed to Savannah to visit the sailing vessel Oz, and then on up to Beaufort, North Carolina to visit some more friends. In this video, we spend a couple days in Beaufort, North Carolina, where we visit some friends, take a trip over to Oriental, North Carolina, get into some weather, just narrowly missing a storm. Then we head on over to Belhaven, North Carolina, and then we mosey on up to Norfolk, Virginia via the Intercoastal Waterway and meet up with a friend up in Norfolk. Have you ever dreamed of selling it all and cruising into the sunset? Well, that's exactly what we did. It's no fun going it alone though, so why don't you join us for the ride?
At this time, I'm going to ask you to fasten your seatbelts.
So this video starts off with a little bit of backstory. If you're a frequent viewer and you watched episode 53, you'll know that we had some time in the Bahamas. It turned into quite the party. Here you go.
Get up, yeah, love it back, get up. I get sick in it, it's like God knows, and I'm sick in it.
And that's where we met Kim, David, and Go Sleep. And we're joined by our friend Sally. So Kim and David have a vacation cabin in Beaufort, North Carolina, and they were gracious enough to invite us over on our trip up north. Not only did they invite us over, but they provided door-to-door limo service. We learned that David and Kim built their cabin themselves over a number of years, a number of iterations, I think from a number of floods. The property itself is absolutely beautiful and located just off the Neuse River. The interior of the cabin was a little bit rustic and reminded me of something that I'd find at Mystic Seaport. I sure do see the lure of waking up to this view every morning. We are in Beaufort, North Carolina, and headed off to Oriental, North Carolina for lunch. David, Kim on Bonafide are here, and Jeff and Donna, I think they're Sea Gypsy, so other PDQers happen to be in Beaufort, so we're all taking his little skiff over there for the day to have lunch and meet up with some more PDQers. So hope for a good journey. It started out nice and smooth until we rounded the corner into the river and hit the wind, and everybody moved from the front to the back to avoid getting drenched. Day started off nice and beautiful, but once we got to Oriental, which was only about a 20-25 minute ride, it started clouding up. We had a great lunch in Oriental, but had to kind of rush it toward the end because we started to hear thunder in the distance. Captain David Osborne here. Storm does not look, Captain. Storm does not look bad to him. He controls the weather and the safety of his passengers. We'll see. Stay tuned. Well, the good news was that on the trip back, the wind was behind us, so it made for a smooth ride. The bad news is it looked like we were headed directly towards the rain and the storm. And these clouds did not look good. Thankfully, we made it all the way back into the dock, and then the skies just opened up when we got there. So, remember that view that I remarked about how great it would be waking up to every morning? At least we were high and dry in the cabin and enjoying some great hospitality. Sorry, Kim. Have you seen the doctor about this condition at all?
I'm starting to get a little worried.
Okay. Well,
What's that called?
it's bone.
Pox? Is that the way pox?
It's the Maypop.
Thankfully, the weather cleared a bit the next day, and we were able to go to a restaurant called Moonrakers in the center of Beaufort. Totally recommend it. Great rooftop bar, awesome food. And you can't beat these views. See, travel day 8 on this journey. We just spent 2 nights in Beaufort, North Carolina. Met our friends David and Kim on Bonafide. Had a great kind of day and a half here. But now we're heading to Belhaven, North Carolina, one of our favorite little spots. Nice little marina. For possibly, well, definitely one night. Then we may stay around there for another night, maybe anchor out because of some weather on Tuesday, and Wednesday looks like a better day to cross the I think it's the Albemarle Sound near the Outer Banks, and that can kick up quite a bit. Tuesday looks like a big wind day, and we don't want to kind of fight it. We don't need to. Wednesday looks better, so we'll delay a day. That looks like the plan right now. You have to have a plan just a couple days out. And that's it. I think today we have about a 70, 75 mile day, so fairly easy day, and we'll just cruise up to Belhaven. So we got a nice early start, as we like to do, and we are heading up the intercoastal between Beaufort and the Neuse River area. We were the only ones on this part of the intercoastal, except for the early morning fishing boats, which looks like they actively had some catch, and the birds were chasing them. The Neuse is a fairly big body of water, gets a little bit wide, and the wind was coming from the west, I believe, that day, and we were headed kind of east-northeast, so we had a bit of a following sea. If you were coming the other way, you would have got knocked around a bit, but thankfully it was pushing us along. Island Time loves a nice, comfortable ride. RE Mayo is known for their seafood. We've passed it a number of times, never stopped. We definitely have to stop here sometime. We've heard some good things about it. I believe they serve maybe a little lunch or dinner from a takeout counter. And you could also dock there overnight fairly cheaply. For some reason, it's just never been the right timing for us. I know that Captain Hendry on Easy Riders has stopped here before, but he has more of an adventurous palate. Belhaven Marina is located in Belhaven, North Carolina. It used to be owned by a single individual. I think it was sold in the last year. We're hoping that the service is as good as it was under the previous ownership. One thing we like about Belhaven Marina is the small touches, like the fenders that they have put out, and the fact that they hide the power cords and the hose underneath the dock boards. Since we've been here 2 years ago, they added a small food truck, but we didn't have a chance to try it. We always take on diesel here because they have great prices and they fuel you right at your dock. We did take an opportunity to use their complimentary transportation though. There really isn't a whole lot to see in Belhaven, but we really look for any excuse to get off the boat while we can, and we were kind of sidelined by the weather, so why not take a trip around town? Once the weather cleared, we left Belhaven, North Carolina, and headed up the Alligator Pungo River Canal, which is a man-made canal. It connects the Pungo River to the Alligator River on our way up to Norfolk, Virginia. The last time we came through here a few years ago, a black bear swam across the river right in front of us. No luck this time, but we did get to catch a few bald eagles. Or should I say, catch sight of a few bald eagles. The canal is about 22 miles long and pretty much straight and easy to navigate. And I really like it because it's well protected on both sides. There's never any whitecaps or fetch or anything like that. Approaching the Alligator River Swing Bridge. And to our right, this crosses over to the Outer Banks. I guess this bridge connects, and it's near Kitty Hawk and Kill Devil Hills, I believe. There's no set time for opening for this swing bridge, so you call them and they open on demand as long as they can and the weather permits. So it was really easy for us, no lines, no waiting, got right through pretty quickly. Just past the swing bridge, you enter the Albemarle Sound, which is a very large body of water just west of Kitty Hawk, North Carolina. It can kick up with high winds and get very wavy in there. Thankfully, we picked a perfect day, and it was almost like glass for us. There wasn't a lot of recreational boat traffic, but there were a lot of commercial barges. Thankfully, they travel pretty slow, so there's not much wake, and it's easy to get to the side of them and give them all the room that they need. After leaving the Albemarle Sound and further up the Intercoastal, we come to Coinjock Marina, which is famous for their prime rib. We decided not to stop this time because we wanted to head up and try and make Norfolk, Virginia. Pancake could definitely smell the prime rib cooking though. The marina probably has over 1,000 foot of dockage, and come nightfall, they are stacked boat to boat, bow to stern, so much that you can't even move between them. So I am at the downstairs helm. The inside helm, why am I here? Because it's pouring out. I just had to tilt the dinghy, it was filling up with water. It's kind of a big thunderstorm. We are approaching the Great Bridge Lock at the end of the traditional intercoastal waterway, right before Norfolk, Virginia. It is, what is it, Wednesday?
Wednesday, yes.
Wednesday, the 11th of June. We were making some good time here. We were at the third drawbridge, and I asked him to go through, and he said the locks are closed right now, probably due to the thunderstorm and the lock master or whatever he's called. Probably doesn't want to come out in the lightning. Don't blame him, and it's a safety thing. So we were sitting here and waiting. Luckily, they have this nice tie up here before this bridge. They don't have them before many, but maybe due to the lock being just around the corner here, they have a dock to tie up to on both sides. So we're going to wait it out, at least through this storm, and once they open it up, we'll see if we can move back down to up to Norfolk, which is probably another 20 miles to get to where we want to go. So that's boating for you. It looks like it's starting to clear up, but I don't know. Rain's still coming down. So we waited for the weather to clear. Geez, it's probably been a good 45 minutes to an hour. The drawbridge behind me is opening. They're letting a barge or maybe a fuel barge come through. And then they called me in next, and I will proceed directly to the locks. So they're very communicative, doing a great job, letting me know the status of everything. And they just waited for the storm to pass.
and we should be good to go. Let this barge come through. Let's move on. Here's that fuel barge coming through. It's probably built by Mike Hendry of Easy Riders, his company. Always get in the way, that Mike Hendry. Especially today. We are now approaching the Great Bridge Lock. They said, come on right in, they're waiting on me. Luckily it's not too busy today. No lines, no waiting after an hour.
Things cleared up nicely as we got to the shipyard area in Norfolk, except we got stuck behind this barge and tug. It took us a little while to get in front of them. Lucky for us, the tug couldn't fit under this bridge and had to call for them to open it. We could just squeeze under, so we were able to pass him and make our way toward the city of Norfolk through the shipyard. There's also a railroad bridge here that thankfully was already open. I understand it's kind of automated and you have to call them and they remotely open it for you. But good news for us is it was already open. It's always pretty cool traveling through Norfolk, Virginia, because there are a ton of naval ships there getting refurbished or in for service. You see a number of aircraft carriers, destroyers, and the like. This was our longest travel day yet, and we really pushed it. 13 hours, 150 miles. But we did it for a reason. We wanted to get to Norfolk to visit a friend and fellow PDQ owner.
Yes, you are.
Coming on island time, and who's here? Joe, the one, the only, in Norfolk, Virginia. Norfolk. Wow.
Well,
All I could say is, it's good to be graced by royalty.
yeah, right.
Anyhow, it was great to catch up with Joel. We had a fantastic time, went out to a great dinner, and look forward to seeing him again soon. And that wraps up part 2 of our journey from Florida to Rhode Island on the Intercoastal Waterway. Please like and subscribe to our channel if you enjoyed the video.